After many years of Road to the Show seemingly being forgotten, getting neglected in terms of new upgrades, this year in MLB The Show 25 looks to be different. There's a lot of new things coming to Road to the Show, college, high school, that I'm very excited about, but I do have a little bit of skepticism on, which we'll talk about. Leave a like down below on this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you guys are most looking forward to in MLB The Show 25 Road to the Show. Path to 99 is going to change how you upgrade your Road to the Show player. Now, you remember the past couple of years, it was tied to the archetypes. Specifically, so it could intertwine with Diamond Dynasty and their created player system that they had for many years. The archetype system never really worked that well, in my opinion, because it limited what you could actually do to your player. You couldn't really mold him how you want to, and there was a specific few presets that you couldn't really go back on, and your Road to the Show player was kind of stuck. I think this is them hitting the reset button, going back to you earning tokens, experience points really, for you playing well in games, and you can choose to use those tokens on whatever attributes or attribute groups that you so choose. So if you specifically want to be a great hitter against righties, you can do that. If you want to only upgrade your speed, you can do that. So everything really comes back into your hands getting to choose, which I'm a big fan of. Also, I would like to see a return of maybe decreasing stats if you do not upgrade. Remember back in the day, if you left some certain ratings stagnant, they would start to decline, which I think is just a realistic thing. So it gives a lot of meaning to the choice that you have in using your tokens. They also introduced the perk system, which you earn these perks through repeating certain tasks within games. You are going to be adept at certain skills. They show fielding balls to end the inning, so I imagine they're going to get pretty specific, and this is something that is just based off you playing the game and doing something repeatedly, showing that you have success, which again I think is a cool thing. Just adds more ability to your player and more ways to differentiate, which is really something that we've sorely missed in Road to the Show in recent years. Equipment is back. This is something I'm a little so-so on, and they actually mentioned something interesting here, that your agent is going to give you monthly drops, apparently. So it's just going to give you stuff like Scott Boras saying like, hey, Pete Alonso, I bought you new cleats. I just went to Dick's. Here you go. Interesting. So you're going to still get equipment and Diamond Dynasty card packs and, you know, dynamic challenges, which they've had in the game for a couple of years now. And then you get boost. You know, your Diamond Bat is going to give you lots of power and contact boost, just like you're used to. And what I would really like to see with equipment, if you want to make this more of a career mode, more of an RPG, let us talk with these brands. Let us go and approach Adidas and Nike and Under Armour and New Balance and Skechers, you know, and have pitches where we get to decide what brand we're going to work with. You know, maybe Nike's offering you X amount of dollars, Adidas is offering you more, but maybe you prefer Nike and you'd rather wear some of the Nike cleats. I think it would be a hell of a lot more interesting and really help you feel more alive within this career mode. The amateur years. Now, this is very interesting. Of course, that's probably the biggest thing that we've heard about MLB 25, is that you get to play in high school and you get to play with licensed colleges on your path to making the majors. So this is how it's going to be. Your story begins in high school. You're a senior and you play for the state championship, which is very cool. We've seen a couple different stadiums. I think there's 4 different ones that you could end up playing at. I don't know if you get to pick what high school you're at. They're not actual schools. They're fake high schools. But of course, we know that we're going to be swinging the metal bats and hearing the ping, which I'm very excited for. But what I'm a little not so much excited for is that the high school experience is going to last like 3 games. Yeah, as we talked about within the blog that mentioned it a couple weeks ago, yeah, you're not going to be reliving the glory days for too long. You know, you're at the state championship, you play a couple of games, and then that portion is done. And then you move on to the MLB Scouting Combine, where just like normal, you're going to have the hitting test, you're going to have the fielding test, you're going to play the combine games, and that's going to help determine your draft stock, you know, what MLB teams are actually interested in you. And this year it should also impact what colleges would give you offers. There's only 8, as we've talked about before. Not really a ton to choose from. You play poorly, you know, is Vanderbilt not going to watch you? You might just get to pick from each 8. There's not that many truly. And you get a choice. You can go into the MLB Draft, declare for it out of high school. From the sound of things, you are likely to be a lower pick. You're not going to be first overall unless you really, really kill it. But even then, I'm not sure it's possible to go number 1 overall. But if you go to college, you're more likely to be a higher draft pick, again, should you perform well in the 4 to 5 games that you play. Because, again, the college experience will not be a long one. So, on one hand, it's great that that's included in the game, that you have a few licensed colleges like LSU and South Carolina, Cal State, Fullerton. That's really sweet. But again, you're really not going to get to play with them for very long. You're essentially doing the College World Series, and then that's it. Then you're done. But should you go to college, then you're going to wind up in the MLB Draft, and it seems, based on what Robert Flores is saying, that the most likely path to going number 1 is going to be playing in college, which is actually very important this year, as they've determined that your time in the minors will be shorter if you're a higher draft pick. It sounds from the trailer here that you could almost immediately go into Major League Baseball. Maybe you have to play like a short stint. I'm curious, if you do go to college, Len, would you start that season, you know, like in actual Major League Baseball? You're drafted in the summer and you play a little bit for the rookie squads in, you know, like September and whatnot. You know, would you play like a month and then the next season you start in the majors, which is very exciting. I know a lot of people don't like to spend the whole first year in the minor leagues before they end up being called up, and this would essentially fast track that. But it also sounds like, you know, you go into the majors when you're ready, in a sense. So if you wanted to play in AA more, you could. But if you want to, you know, just get moving on to the majors, also up to you. Again, I think it's cool. It gives you the choice. And from then on, they talk a lot about the first-person camera, which is available when you're player locking a player or for Road to the Show. You know, different fielding opportunities you're going to be in first person for. If you don't like it, you can turn it off at any given point. They also show a lot of quick time events, new prompts this year. As a catcher, you're going to have an opportunity to manually block balls behind the plate, which is pretty cool. Also, the tagging mechanism to counteract the swim moves that they put into the game. You now get to make the tags yourself on close plays, and also fly balls tailing out towards foul territory. You're going to have more consistent opportunities to make a play on the ball. And once again, they're really kind of driving home the point that fielding rating matters this year. So for things like robbing home runs and, you know, reaching out into the stands and grabbing balls from foul territory, the higher your fielding rating is, the more likely you're actually going to come down with the ball and make the play. And that's pretty much it for Road to the Show. I'm sure there's going to be a couple more things that will be added to the game mode. They're going to have a full in-depth live stream coming on Thursday. If there's big stuff, of course, we will talk about it. I am excited. I don't want to pretend that I'm not, or bring the message across that I don't think this will be good improvements, because Road to the Show is desperately needed innovation. You know, I just think the mode has gotten a bit stale. It's the same thing every year. You make a player, go to the minors, get called up to the majors, you play in the majors, and it's fun. I mean, you know, buy the game because you enjoy playing it, right? But Just a couple extra layers of detail, a little bit more care put into the game, more things that we can do to make it feel like an RPG. I keep coming back to that. They want to market and make the mode appear as if it's more than just playing baseball games, but it hasn't really been that. Again, sponsorships. Just add something extra. If you perform well, let me be the spokesperson for Nike. Let me be on a billboard. If you win back-to-back MVPs, you're on the cover of MLB The Show in the game. Make the contracts matter. Doesn't matter if you make $50 million or $5 million. It's the same thing. You could buy an apartment or buy a house, and you get to put up your MVP awards, your Silver Sluggers. You get to have framed jerseys of teammates that you've had in the past. Just a couple extra layers of detail that make it feel like your player's actually alive. Make it feel like you're in the bigs. I don't need it like 2K. You have your city, you walk 8 blocks to go to record a rap demo. I don't need Spike Lee to come in and direct a major motion picture here. Just a couple extra features to make it feel more unique and really make it feel more like an MLB player's career. Something extra alongside playing the games. But that's just one Gomer's opinion. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? If you're a big Road to the Show player, do you think these new features are something that excites you? If you're someone who hasn't played Road to the Show in recent years, is college, high school, the new attribute path, is that going to get you to play the game mode? Let me know in the comment section. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like down below. Thank you guys for watching this one.